They're off in the Golden State Juvenile Fillies. And it is Vronsky Feint and Drizella out quickly for the lead, joined on the inside by It's Simple. From the rail, it's Big Novel. These four with the most early speed. After that comes Big Switch, and then Vivacious Vanessa to the far outside. Break of another two. The trailers are Medea and Bold Choice. Up the backstretch they go. It's Simple has a head in front. Vronsky Feint on the outside. Big Novel has the rail. Ran that first quarter mile in 22.46 seconds, and there's a half mile to go. Drizella tracks them in fourth position. Big Switch fifth in between horses. Medea has the rail in sixth with 3 lengths to make up. Then Vivacious Vanessa and Bold Choice last of a compact field. 3 furlongs to go. It's Big Novel and It's Simple. Big Novel and Neck. It's Simple is second. Big Switch is coming up on their outside in third to make it 3 in a line. And right behind them comes Drizella. Vivacious Vanessa's getting going too, but it's Big Switch coming up to the outside of Big Novel. Big Switch, Big Novel, Big Switch. Big Switch to the front. Big Novel battles on in second. These two putting on a big battle, but it's Big Switch who pulls away from Big Novel to win it by about 3 lengths in the end. Third is going to be Vivacious Vanessa, running up on the inside of Drizella.
A big exacta indeed, both for John Sadler and for the sire of these two horses, Mr. Big, as his 2 offspring go 1-2. Big Switch with the victory at 3-1.
How excited is George Krikorian right now? He's the owner and the breeder of both of these fillies. He also stands Mr. Big, the stallion, and I know he loves to see these big offspring do big things.
It was a nice effort from jockey Irad Ortiz Jr. as well, Scott, because he saved ground behind the early leaders and then angled out into the clear at just the right moment.
And he had his target right in front of him, Big Novel, who was always saving ground down on the inside, and she set the pace. But right now, you can just look at the body language. Joe Bravo is trying to shake up the reins at the 3, showing the riding crop, but the 6 was so smooth off the turn. And, you know, these are both substantial fillies, but the 6 has so much more size to her at this point in their careers. And Mr. George Krikorian, an individual who through the years has made an empire through his movie theaters, Krikorian theaters, as there's been one opened up in near the Rupp Arena downtown Lexington, Kentucky here in the last year or so. So Big Switch, really an easy win in the end, of maybe about 3 to 4 lengths. The official margin will reveal as this one comes home at odds of 3-1, the second choice.
Full order of finish on your screen there. A look at the slow-mo replay, watching these equine athletes in motion. Big Switch, the 6 horse, over Big Novel. Vivacious Vanessa from off the pace, able to get third. Drizella and Medea in the end. ISO look at your replay here, and as they come off the turn, these two have already hooked up. Switch leads accordingly with the 6 horse, and she just goes on pretty impressively. Michelle, we've been saying she's a daughter of Mr. Big. They tend to have some size. She is really big for a 2-year-old filly. She's a big girl out there.
She's super big. You can see just compared to the horse right down along the inside of her, the little gray. I mean, you can see she's taller, she's wider, she's broader. Even the distance of her girth, so between like the jockey's foot and her belly, is so much longer than the other horse right next to it. It was a great side-by-side comparison of how large she really is. And a lot of times, Christina, horses don't reach their full development till they're 4 or 5 years old. So to have a horse that's this big but able to control her frame so well and really look as athletic as she does is great. She's all over the place. We've been watching this of her though since the saddling paddock, where she's just been all over and playing.
She's got to be looking at the big board in the infield, right?
She's looking at herself in the mirror,
Maybe
basically.
so.
Say, hey, I look good out here. Looking good like a winner.
And you can see she's got cotton in her ears. Yeah, the white that's inside of her ears is cotton that the trainer stuffed down there to kind of muffle the sounds. Horses are flight animals, so when they see things that might be scary or they hear a lot of loud sounds, they can tend to run or get very nervous. And so putting the cotton in her ears dulls all of that, which obviously there's a huge crowd here today. She's only raced once. She's never been in a crowd situation like she is now.
And in 2 races now, this is why it's the World Championships. We've seen Ryan Moore, the best in Europe, jockey-wise, and now Irad Ortiz Jr., who's been the champion jockey for several years in a row, take this second race. That is why you need to be here and be part of this being the World Championship. It's the best of the best, Christina.
And if you've never been to the racetrack or watched the jockeys as they head back and they prepare in between races, they basically all get ready in the same locker room. There's one jockey's room. They is separated for the female jockeys and the male jockeys, but for the most part, they're all in the same space. They're back there, they're preparing, they're changing their silks or the jacket that they were arguing, fighting at times. I mean, look, most of the time it's left out there on the racetrack, but sometimes those competitive juices get flowing. They are friends with each other.